Welcome back, everybody, to Pick and Roll. We are here to start off your Monday with some NBA betting. And make sure you guys are subscribed because we go live every single weekday for content just like this, giving out NBA best bets, giving out NBA free picks here on the Board YouTube channel. If you find yourself enjoying this particular stream along the way, drop us a thumbs up. Really helps support the channel. And check out thehammer.bet for sports betting content across all of your favorite sports. But this channel in particular, we focus on the NBA. Let's talk about the recap of the last stream's picks. This will be all the way back on Friday when we were last live, and very well could have been a mini sweep with the 3-0 day, but it will be a 2-1 day. Let's pull up the record here. So on the season so far, Pips' picks have gone 112 to 89, which is good for a 4.2% ROI and a 9.6% upgrade in units. So the picks have been doing well. Not our best week, but let's talk about the Friday one. Pips, your overall thoughts on the entire slate. I mean, obviously, people were scared of the DeRozan bet. Ended up being a absolute home run smash, but your overall thoughts.
Yeah, unfortunately, also on CJ McCollum, as he had the lowest usage of the season. Like, I just
At fourth quarter, that was unfortunate for him.
Yeah, I mean, like the Pelicans were that game was the worst offense any team played this season. I think like any playoff team that played the entire season, like they deserve to lose so bad that I'm so glad. Like, okay, my Houston Rockets won, but if I watched any team, like I will be so happy with them losing because their offense in the fourth quarter was just CJ McCollum bringing up the ball in the half court, uh, throwing to the Jonas or to Brandon Ingram for isolation post up, and that's it. They played the same thing entire quarter. CJ had only 1 3, and that's because when Jonas was double teamed inside and he kicked out to CJ, and he missed the wide open three, and that's it from CJ. So like very like you played Houston Rockets, you lost the game, close game, and you had CJ McCollum not getting anything. And then they played like 2 days after, last night.
Yeah.
CJ McCollum scores 26. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's just
And somebody in the comments also made this point. This exact same game, exact same matchups where we lost the next time they play. Both the guys we needed 20 plus, they got 26.
yeah. I had Ingram 26 and a half over last night, and he had 26. So
Oh,
yeah,
man. Wait, over 26 and a half?
yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
they were fouling in the last minute, and they fouled like 3 times for a free throw line, and Ingram is their go-to guy. I mean, it's the free throw, and they didn't foul Ingram once. They didn't pass the ball to him once, and I was just waiting for one foul to get over, and he stayed at 26. So yeah, like
Yeah.
difficult to
Oh, my
choose
goodness.
between sometimes.
The hooks even get you not on the show. That is just terrible to hear.
Yeah, I
I
had another
actually
one. It was a Yeah, I had another one yesterday. It was in Jokic, 22 and a half points. He had 22 to end the third quarter and remained at 22 in the entire fourth quarter. Not a single field goal attempt in the fourth quarter. Like, yeah, it's happened privately even more than on the show. So it sucks.
I do believe, though, now that we're talking about it, I believe Trey Young got exactly 25 in this game with some
Yeah,
late free throws.
that's
So
that's
we'll
yeah.
take the hook win. We haven't had many of actually we're actually starting to build up quite a few of the hook wins here, but we'll update the counter here quickly before we go into the official picks. And we're at 5-7 now, so maybe we're on the way back into the 500 territory there, as I have predicted it will eventually get towards the center. But hopefully, no hooks to speak of in the negative space for today's official picks, which we can go ahead and give out right now. 3 official plays coming your way for not the biggest Monday slate, but clearly Pips likes what he sees. Some people in chat like to speculate what is going to be going on here. And as a result of Golden State playing against Houston, yes, there will obviously be a Golden State bet. And it's a Rockets special coming through. That will be the second official play, but let's go through into now the first official play, which is just a straight player prop bet on Jalen Brunson to go over 24.5 points. as the New York Knicks today are taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think we talked about last week how just individual players, you saw DeRozan against the Timberwolves, have been absolutely cooking. So going back to more of that today, that is a minus 115 at BetMGM. Second official play, there you go. The Rockets special SGP. And in the chat, people were talking about Curry having a really good game, and also talk about Klay Thompson having a really good game. Well, how about both of them? Curry 4+ threes, Thompson 3+ threes, and 5+ assists for Draymond Green to go with it. So a good bit of correlation on that one. That is plus 105 at DraftKings. And the final bet, Pacers and the Hornets. Kelly Oubre going over 20.5 points, and Buddy Hield, our man Buddy Hield, not going for the 3+ threes on this one. We're actually going for the points on this one. Buddy Hield 12+ points paired with those Oubre points, which is minus 115 at DraftKings. We'll remind you guys that for this specific play on DraftKings, remember the Kelly Oubre one will be in his normal player prop line, which you see at the top. Buddy Hield will be in the milestones line. So there's two different sections for player props. Make sure you are checking both to ensure you're getting the same bet here. But all these available, all these ready for you guys to fire watching live. Let's go into the first play here to see why Pips likes Jalen Brunson against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
So, firstly, Jalen Brunson is doing great against this line. Over the last 27 games, he covered this in 19. That's 70% win rate over this line over the last 27 games. As we spoke earlier, this is a great matchup for anyone that can shoot mid-range. I think everyone that's following basketball, like NBA, closely will remember the last season matchup against Dallas Mavericks against the Utah Jazz. First 3 games when Doncic was out, Brunson was cooking Gobert. Like, that was insane. He had 32 points average in the playoff series.
Yeah.
In the first 3 games, when he wasn't even at this level of usage and scoring. So, like, he was carrying the Dallas Mavericks over the Utah Jazz and completely against single cover and against drop of Rudy Gobert. So that's the great matchup. I mean, it means like single cover plus drop coverage of Gobert. And McDaniels is probably one of the best wing defenders in the entire league, and he will probably guard Randall or Barrett. So that means even more usage for Jalen Brunson. And he's getting Mike Conley as his guard, and I don't think he's able to stop Jalen Brunson.
No.
Brunson first game back against the Denver Nuggets. He was having Jokic in like a bit hedged, so that's not great for small players like him. And he still ended up scoring 24 points in the first game back. He played only 31 minutes. I expect him to play like back to his normal minutes, like 34, 36 tonight. And yeah, that's it. And one of the things, like over the last 2 weeks, we had Fred VanVleet scoring 28 against Gobert. DeMar DeRozan 49. Trae Young 41. Spencer Dinwiddie 29. Fox 25, but it was the game where like everyone scored 20 points, so he didn't have to take over. Still scored 25, and Bradley Beal scored 35. So what's in common for all these players? They're mostly like mid-range shooters, pull-up shooters, and they have like float game or inside. Like, and Brunson is one of the best in the league. I don't know if people actually like know this, but Brunson before this season wasn't even like a huge threat from the 3-point line. He wasn't shooting much threes, but he started shooting a ton of threes this season, like huge increase. And but still, interesting fact, like from 3 to 10 feet from the rim, he shot 35 to 40% of his shots. Field goal attempts are coming from 3 to 10 feet away from the rim, and over 50% is like 3 feet to 15 feet. So like that's the mid range. So that's the mid range, and he's shooting 50% on these. So that's quite amazing. Going against the drop coverage of Rudy Gobert. Like that's even like better than Trae Young numbers, and he's one of the best. So, like, I love this.
As he was with Dallas was that he's very, very efficient at the rim, like extremely efficient, especially for a point guard. That's what's kind of indicated his talent early on, but nobody would have seen this coming from the player. And we'll hope for more sorrow for the Timberwolves in this one. Let's go to the second official play here. When the Rockets are playing, kind of always got to bet on it on this show, and that's exactly what Pips is going for here. He sent this text to me as the Rockets special. SGP. And we have Curry, Thompson, and Draymond Green on this one. Curry 4 plus 3s, Thompson 3 plus 3s, Draymond Green 5 plus assists for plus 105 at DraftKings.
I think that
let's see the breakdown, Pips.
So like this is as you said, I sent you like this is the Rocket special. Rockets allow the most threes to point guards and allow the most threes to shooting guards. And who will assist to these players? It will be Draymond Green. So they played earlier this season when Steph Curry and Klay Thompson played together. Klay had 10 threes and Steph Curry had 7 threes. So, and in that game, Draymond Green had 8 assists. So the next game, Steph Curry played against the Rockets. The Klay Thompson was out, but it was Andrew Wiggins playing in that game, and Steph Curry scored 8 threes, and Andrew Wiggins scored 8 threes, and Jordan Poole added 5 threes. So yeah, and the last game they played against the Rockets, it was Curry was out, so it was Klay Thompson scored 12 threes in that game. So that's pretty amazing, like shot making from Klay, from Steph. And if you take a look at the season, they cleared these lines in 80% both, Klay Thompson and Steph. And now they are getting the best matchup, and they are on the road, losing 11 straight games, going against my Houston Rockets. I think they finally win tonight, but maybe not as easy as 10-point spread. So we'll have to see what's going on and what's going to happen tonight. Rockets are unfortunately on a back-to-back game, but they're playing well lately. They're not giving up. And I think we could see a game where Klay and Curry gets to the third quarter minutes. But if they don't, they can still cover this line in 3 quarters. Like if they make if it's a blowout, it will be because Klay and Steph are shooting the lights out.
Yeah, this is kind of a square take for myself, but like Warriors are horrible on the road. The Rockets have been playing really well, and the Rockets are plus 11.5 in this game. That doesn't seem like the correct price.
Yeah, the only problem is they are on back-to-back. Last night they played fighting.
Yeah, I suppose
it was a great game of the Rockets last night. They were down 12, 20, 3 times during the game. They fight back to 10 and they get back to 20 again, but they still fight again in the fourth and got back. And it was a closer game, 7-point game, and it 2 to 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
So credit due, they fight that game. So I don't know how this affects today's game, but yeah, they are playing better lately.
That's a good point. I mean, that probably factors in a couple of points on the spread. So maybe makes more sense than I think. Okay, let's go into the final play here. We are going with the Kelly Oubre same game parlay paired with Buddy Hield. Now, I don't want to throw any sort of jinxes out there or anything, but Buddy Hield is a perfect, I believe it is 7-0 on his half of same game parlays this season. Have not gone to Buddy Hield on any points for his same game parlays. We also have done a player prop with just Buddy Hield, which is also won this season. So I believe Buddy Hield is perfect this season, despite the volume of bets on him. Going back to him here, again, not trying to throw any jinxes out there, but go with him and Kelly Oubre. Buddy Hield 12 plus, Kelly Oubre over 20.5 points, minus 115 at DraftKings. So I've described Buddy Hield very well, but what do you like about him in this matchup, and why do you like Kelly Oubre against the Pacers here?
So for the first, I will go just a couple of words about Buddy Hield. Like for the Pacers today, they have so many players questionable, and Tyrese Halliburton is out. We could see probably Duarte and Benedict Mathurin being out. They're questionable. They missed last couple of games, so that means like where is the offensive scoring? Like everyone will need to share like offensive load. And Hornets are a good matchup, and I think Buddy will have easily scoring like 15 plus points tonight. They already played against the Hornets twice this season, but scored 19 and 21 points. If you take a look over the season, when Buddy gets 25 or more minutes, he is over this line in 87% of the games. So I just love him tonight. And the second part is also some graphical data, and you can show the Uber graphics for either. So this is the last 10 games for Kelly Oubre without LaMelo Ball and 30 plus minutes. So he cleared this line in 9 out of the last 10. I think if you go further, it's even like 12 out of the last 10. Uh, and yeah, of course, I had a bet on him in this Brooklyn game where he stayed under, and I had 18 plus, so it was a hook. Yeah, it's funny sometimes. Yeah, and yeah, but he is 22 plus points in like it was like Cleveland Cavaliers 28, like Knicks 27. Those like 26 against the Phoenix Suns. That's way more difficult matchups than he gets tonight against the Indiana Pacers. High pace game, a lot of points. They'll just run. They don't care about winning in either team. So Oubre never received a ball that he didn't shoot.
Yep.
And in this running gun matchup, I think we could see like 20 plus field goals and 6 to 7 free throws, and that should be more than enough for him to go over this line. As we can see, average over the last 10 in this is 25.7, and those are some difficult matchups. So I think in very positive, high-paced game with lots of more possessions than he had against the Cleveland Cavaliers, Pistons, Knicks, Orlando, and Phoenix. I think he should cover this line pretty easily tonight.
Yeah, you said it best. I mean, nobody gives himself a green light than Kelly Oubre. This guy is gonna, this guy's gonna take his shots. It's just about making them today. That's for damn sure. So those are the three plays for you guys. If you guys miss anything, we will recap all three at the end of the show just to make sure everybody has the prices that we gave out. But as we always do, we're gonna add in a bit of a discussion piece for this one and a pretty big story brewing up in the Eastern Conference. So you can go back to our shows from the start of the season. I mean, we were talking like how good this Boston Celtics team is. Boston had like the most efficient offense of all time. They were displaying some great levels on offense. Defense was fine. That was without Robert Williams, but as the months have gone on, the team has slowly faded away bit by bit, and it's gotten to the point where Celtics were everybody's pick for the champion. They are now down to third in the Eastern Conference. Kind of crazy to see that the Celtics have fallen into third place here. The Sixers, who've won 9 of their last 10 games, they've won 8 in a row. They are up to second in the Eastern Conference. So I'm not sure like which one we should start with. I guess I'll open up to you, Pips. Is this a Sixers playing so well and we're underrating them? Is this the Celtics playing poorly? We've kind of been overrating them. Which one do you think this is a case of? Also, maybe a blend of both.
I would say probably six are getting underrated
Mm-hmm.
because, like, we had Embiid miss some games, we had Harden miss some games, we had Maxi miss a ton of games. So, like, and they are still like the second seed on the East. I will just say, like, this is a fact that James Harden and Joel Embiid pick and roll is the best offense in the league. Like, that's unstoppable right now. Like Embiid is playing the best basketball of his life. He's just so smooth, like so like timing, pacing, like everything is like on like best part of his career. Of
And
course,
he's favorite for MVP now.
yeah. I mean, like he's doing everything like right. Like the game, the game against the Cleveland Cavaliers was amazing. He scored 36 points, 18 rebounds, and 3 assists in a game where like Jared Allen was out. So he will get triple team and he will just no rush. uh, Like last season, when he will get double team and triple team, he was poor passing out of it. But this season, he's like, no panic, just get the ball. And if they overextend in some point, you will get fouls and free throws probably. If someone is open, he'll hit him, and that's it. And sometimes, like I think 3 times in the game, he was like 7 to 8 or 10 feet from the rim, and they will triple team him, and he will make a layup. Like 3 guys like on him, and he'll just go through them or get to the foul line or just make the layup, and that was absolutely amazing to see. And then we go to the game against the Wizards where he made that like step back mid range to seal the game and like
Hmm.
playing amazing. But also this is a lot on James Harden, making it so much easier for him. Amazing shot creation for this team. Like just absolutely amazing. James Harden is having one of the best seasons of his career. Maybe the scoring is not there, but I think he like if you take a look at how many points he contributes to the team with assists and shot making, like one of the best seasons of his career. He is very efficient for his shooting, even though he's not getting to the line. So amazing also from the Harden. Embiid step up huge on defense. Like over the last 10 games, 15 games, he improved so much on defense. Like he's just he plays throughout the half of the season, probably not trying that hard on defense, but when he is logged in and playing defense like on the level he can play it, like that's absolutely amazing. Like the game against the Cavaliers, that was like Mitchell had 21 points and Garland had 15 points, and those mostly were due to Embiid just being amazing on defense. So Maxi is coming around, finally playing very great. Tobias Harris is in his role, and he doesn't take away much from
Yeah.
them. So
I like that change from this
yeah.
season for him.
And also, I think Melton is huge player for them. Like his defense is amazing. They have they have McDaniel's now, so the size on the bench. So I think they are a great team, and as long they are healthy, they can beat literally anyone in the league.
And one thing to mention about the standings here, it doesn't seem to have affected the Sixers much right now. But as Aaron alludes to here, it is a very ugly schedule from the Sixers for the rest of the season. Obviously, strength of schedule is always changing with every game. But as of today, right now, as recording, the hardest remaining schedule in the league belongs to the Philadelphia 76ers. 12 games remaining for them. Like I said, they've won 8 in a row, and they're a team. Hey, if you want to be the NBA's best and whatnot, one of the NBA's best, then certainly these are teams you've got to beat. But will be
Yeah,
interesting to see. I don't think the seeding is, well, I suppose for your matchup in the first round, I don't think that the Brooklyn Nets or the New York Knicks as the 3 seed will give much issues to either of these teams. Whoever is second, they'll get the winner of the play-in tournament. I don't think they'll give much issues, but it will come into play in the second round because there'll be home court advantage. Both teams are exceptional home
it will
court teams.
be it will be the most important thing on the East is to get to the first seed for anyone.
Yes,
Like if
to
if,
avoid
if
those two in the
76ers,
second round.
yeah, if 76ers somehow made it to the first seed, they will get easy first round matchup, and then and then in the conference finals they will go get to the Celtics or Bucks after they go probably to Game 7.
That's That's an angle I wasn't thinking about either. I was thinking about it from like your second round is obviously much easier, but the third round, all of a sudden, well, first of all, you have home court and you get the battered Celtics Bucks. Because if it was anything like last year's conference semifinal between the Bucks and
Yeah.
Celtics,
And also, if you are third, then you are going away to the Bucks or the Celtics. So that's
yes,
you just need to finish like the first place is huge on the East, and probably will decide who will come out of the East. Like huge advantage of being first.
yes, agreed. Bucks have a bit of a lead on these guys, and the Bucks actually have a middle sort of remaining strength of schedule. So they're in the bit of a driver's seat there because Celtics are also top 10 in most difficult. You're just so again, Celtics ninth, Philly first, Milwaukee 17th. I think it's safe to say I've kind of been underrating the Sixers. We talked about it on the show where I'm still not completely sold on. I mean, I know you love James Harden, so I hate to say it. I'm not sold on him in the biggest games. So I think a lot will have to lean on Embiid there. And I know you've tried to disprove that before. I just still maybe I'm underrating the Sixers. Maybe I just don't like the Sixers, which I don't. I mean, I don't like Boston either.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to be proven wrong this season and see if they can get to their first conference finals in this sort of trust the process era because I think this is the best team they've had since then. I think a lot of that is Harden being here and not only being a great player himself, but I think he's elevated Joel Embiid's game to a certain degree. And I personally feel like Joel Embiid being runner up for MVP like 2 years in a row. He's the second team All NBA because Jokic is first. Embiid, I don't believe was an All-Star starter originally because it was KD, Tatum, maybe it was and Durant. It was sorry, I feel like Embiid wasn't a starter. Maybe I'm missing. But anyways, Embiid has been runner up in a lot of things, so I think that's also been fuel to motivate him. But let's also speak on the other half of this quickly, and this is the Celtics who have fallen off a little bit from their early season pace. And I'd like your insight as to why you think they have had some difficulties. And I'd also would like to know if you're worried for their sake about their aspirations this season.
Too much isolation ball between Brown and Tatum. And they are not great isolation score. Like Tatum is good, and like, but that's not where they should go. Like so many good shooters on that team, spot up shooters with Brogdon, with White, with Horford. Like you should be moving the ball, you should be getting to the spots, not settling, and they are doing that a ton of lately. And Jason Tatum is not doesn't have like a good month on efficiency. I mean, the only way he gets to the big points is through free throws, and yeah, he had the crazy hot start to the season, shooting like 62% from true shooting, but since then he's been average. But I mean, average scoring 30 points, that's still amazing.
Yes, yes.
But yeah, he's like last 4 games he shot 40% or lower from the field, but he gets to the line like 12 times average. Like that's unbelievable. But yeah, they lost to the Houston Rockets. That was like pretty weird loss. That game, it was especially poor game from Jason Tatum. Then they lost against the Utah Jazz again. Poor game from Tatum. And yeah, and then we'll get the loss against the Nets when they were up 20 for more like over 20 points. Yeah, last I will say last couple of wins last 10 games they won 4, and those were wins against the twice against the Portland Blazers, which one of the worst teams in the league. Hawks, which is like still not great win because Hawks have some deep issues with defending, and then they won against the Wolves in a very close game, like one possession game. So nothing great from the Boston Celtics lately. Similar to Denver Nuggets going like from the first seed, like getting killed over the last couple of games.
Yeah, it's been pretty weird with the Celtics this season. HTC kind of highlights it here. They were great without Rob Williams. He came back. They were like maybe even better. And then since he's gone out, they've fallen off a little bit more. Maybe there's just an adjustment to having him back. I think the Celtics this season, why I've long maintained the Bucks are the favorites to win the championship in my book, is the Celtics are very, very reliant on the 3-point game. So when something like that stops working, I don't know what if they have the best backup plan, whereas the Bucks, there's just so many different ways they can hurt you. And I think a lot of that, as much as Tatum is an exceptional player, what has helped him rise to this all NBA level is he's gone away from the isolation scoring in mid range, and he's much better at getting to the rim and shooting threes. So that was the biggest step in his game to take on this all NBA level. But now I kind of agree with you. We're seeing that come back a little bit more lately, which is where he starts to produce some inefficient numbers, which was a criticism early on in his career. And I think that part of what was problematic for him in the playoffs last season, late in the playoffs specifically, where especially in the finals he started to struggle, was that he was just going back to that sort of game, trying to get his shots there. So
Yeah, but Tatum is not efficient 3-point shooter, at least not this season, because he's shooting so many contested step back threes, and like you don't need to
right,
do that. You can move the ball. So he's shooting 34% from the three on like huge amount of threes.
yeah,
He's shooting 38% from the mid range.
it's bad.
That's
38
also
like is
that's
bad.
yeah, it's bad, but he's 73% at the rim.
Yeah. And that's
So
just the thing. When he's playing to like, a math guy like myself, analytic guy like myself, playing to those strengths, he's such an exceptional player. But it's the additional things that like the decision making sometimes, which can plague him a little
yeah,
bit. So as much as he's special, he needs to choose when to do that sort of things. That's what really, really brings out the best in him, and in tune would bring out the best in the Boston Celtics. So we'll see what sort of adjustments can be made here. I mean, rookie head coach. We'll see what sort of changes and how he can make, and how he's going to operate in like a chess match sort of series, like that Bucks Celtics series last year was just all these minuscule details which factored into the
I'll
7-game series win.
I will also say like they missed Smart a lot over the last couple of games. They missed
Yeah,
Time Lord. They missed Al Horford. Like when they are healthy, they have unbelievable defense, and their offense is like set for playing difficult playoff games. Like you had like you probably need to have like Tatum just taking over and scoring in isolations when everything is set and done in the playoffs. Like when teams adjust to the way you play the offense, you will need Tatum and Brown just getting there and doing it by themselves, and them getting reps in doing that, maybe at the cost of some losses, could actually be great for them in the playoffs. But they need
interesting.
things, so I like they need to like get back to their way of playing, like
Yeah,
high movement basketball.
yeah, and we're kind of putting them down here. I don't want to take away from how good this team still is. I mean, they have every opportunity to win the championship this season too. They're definitely a top 3 team in the East. I think me and Pips would agree they're a top 3 team in the NBA. I think the top 3 teams are all on the Eastern side of things, and Boston are one of them. So
Yeah,
they can
yeah,
absolutely go on to win the
that's like
championship.
yeah, yeah, that's I think like for 100%. I actually think like Cavaliers can win against the Nuggets, against the Memphis, against everyone on these top seats on this, like Cavaliers
Yeah,
too. So yeah,
Cavs is but maybe I wouldn't go as far as the Cavs, but yes, the East seems to be much
I
more
will say
staunch
like
on the top.
yeah, I will say like that Cavs are like the best team, like that will be like fourth best team in the league. But as I said, like Cavs are fourth seed in the East, but they can still beat anyone on the West. Like there
Yeah,
is no team
I
in the West
I
that
I agree. I agree with that. So Boston's still a very good team. Just need to tinker some things to get back to that top tier level. But
yeah.
that will wrap up today's show. Let's recap for you guys all 3 of the official picks that are on the tickets for tonight from the Pick and Roll Show, courtesy of Pips. So first of all, Timberwolves at the Knicks, going back to the Timberwolves matchup here to get Jalen Brunson over 24.5 points, which is minus 115 at BetMGM. Secondly, the Rockets special SGP, as the Warriors are in town, And we're going Curry, 4+ threes. Thompson, 3+ threes. Draymond Green, 5+ assists, which is plus 105 at DraftKings. Nice plus money on this 3-tier parlay. And then finally, Pacers at the Hornets. We are going with our man, the show MVP, Buddy Hield, 12+ points, and Kelly Oubre over 20.5 points or minus 115 at DraftKings. I really sold Buddy Hield in this one. Hopefully, I didn't sell him too much or oversell him on this side of the bet because, like I said earlier, Buddy Hield has been successful on this show this season. We would certainly like that to continue. But thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. If you did enjoy the content today, you're tailing the picks, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Really does help support the show, get us on some more recommended pages. And for more sports betting content just like this, subscribe to the Board YouTube channel. We go live every weekday here. We're going to start adding in some more content, YouTube shorts, maybe some additional videos, especially as we get towards the playoffs. So thank you, everybody, for giving us the support. Let's hope these picks cash. We'll see you tomorrow for more from Pick and Roll.